So, thank you so much for joining me today. After watching this, I am so excited to get into that brain of yours. Now, with your film, not just this film, not just with Perpetrator, but with your work, you seem to often dive into motifs and themes that I feel people aren't always comfortable to embrace. There's a bit of lower class lifestyle, femininity, queerness, all with a high level of camp. You remind me of John Waters in a lot of ways. Why do you like this motif? What draws you to these type of stories?
And I'm so glad that you brought up John Waters because I do feel like so often my work gets compared to David Lynch and David Cronenberg, who I love. I love those comparisons. But my very, very early kind of video artwork was so deeply inspired by the entire, early catalog of John Waters. And, the way that he uses, yeah, camp and queerness and sort of like it allows what it allowed him, and I think what it absolutely allows me is like a real sense of experimentation and the ability to get at least weird, if not like outrageous. And
Yeah.
it's just where I those are the stories that I want to consume. Those are the films that I want to consume. And those are the kind of stories that I want to tell. And so there's not a lot of room for that in, a romantic comedy or in play there, it's like my much about, being able to play and sort of like find the unexpected moments in life. And so through that kind of through genre, through camp, I it's where it's like it is a playground for from weird to outrageous.
You play well in this playground as well. And I think one of my favorite things is your direction of talent, especially Alicia Silverstone, who is pitch perfect in this. How do you find that balance between wanting all of the acting and also subtlety? You do that very well, where I'm like, you go to 10, but also bring it back. And I love that. Where's that balance for you?
Yeah, I mean, she and I talked a lot leading up to leading up to shooting. And, she knew that there would be scenes where she could be more stylized and, be, yeah, and sort of push that kind of camp and really slow her speech down and lower the register of her voice and have a look, that had all of that kind of Norma Desmond kind of drama. But then we also knew that there were scenes when it was important for her to kind of like let that sort of facade down and be vulnerable to Jonny, because it's not just like Alicia playing this part, it's also kind of Hildie playing a part.
Mm.
And so when we talked about that, when we talked about sort of Hildie's affect and that she understands that she has an affect. I mean, I think we see it in like a character like Moira Rose, but that's for full comedy,
Yeah.
effect. Although I do think that Alicia has some really funny lines also. And she's a great actor, I mean, she's just such a good actor and such a smart actor. And I want to see her get cast in roles where she does kind of have to flex from that kind of affect stylized performance to one, like for instance in the scene where she's kind of giving the expository monologue about forevering, and it's she's soft and vulnerable and beautiful in a different way. And that kind of range, you hope that you find in all the actors you cast, but you don't. And then when you have somebody iconic like Alicia Silverstone, who is going to be captivating, but absolutely lands on set with all that ability, it's just like, I was totally in awe of her performance.
Yeah, you brought out a performance I loved in her. There's a Kenneth Branagh film from the '90s called Love's Labor's Lost that I was like,
Hmm.
oh, someone made her stretch her acting chops. You did that
Hmm.
as well here, and I loved your crafting and forevering. I just loved your whole world. I cannot wait to see more from your weird, wacky mind. I think you're so creative, so fun, and so refreshing in this industry. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. I could speak with you for hours. It feels like about movies and now John Waters. I want to know more about your John Waters loves.
Yes, thanks, EJ. Yeah, next time we
No
will
problem.
we'll get everything Waters.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys back there as well. Bye, guys.